It's a little bit thinner than he probably would have.
Yeah, I thought he'd try and keep it a bit straighter.
He did miss a couple of these against Cousins.
He's played that with less side, but 2 cushions. I'd always played that, I think, with more side and try and keep the black out of play, but it's a personal preference, that shot. I think I'd have tried to throw more side on it, and then you're not bringing the black into play, but he's played it lovely anyway, so however you get there, it doesn't make any odds. It's just like you say, a personal preference on that one.
In the black goes, and that was a missed opportunity there for Nathan. And that's when he's had 2 chances, 2 frames, 2 chances.
Yeah. The first one was tough. He missed the skill shot, but he'll be disappointed with that one. Not getting on the black there. Hopefully he gets a couple more chances early on, because you don't want to find yourself 4 or 5-0 down in what is probably one of the biggest matches he's ever played in his life, I would have thought. So.
Yeah, that is asking a lot on your BBC debut.
Yeah.
So again, just for those who are just joined us recently, you're used to tuning into Final Score and getting the footy scores. No football or hardly any sport at all because of the coronavirus issue. Thankfully, we're okay here.
We're battling through, Kev.
We're battling through, yeah. And I mean, I think if the event had been next week, I think we probably would have been cancelling the event.
Yeah.
But we think we're okay to go ahead this weekend, and so we're bringing you some live pictures here. We're in Bournemouth, Carrington House Hotel, in a sunny Bournemouth.
Nice break again from Nathan there. Just gives himself a good chance on the Reds.
Bringing you this live pool. The IPA features basically the top players in the world of black ball pool. You know, the Reds and Yellows. We've all played it in the pub at some point, usually with a pint in the other hand, probably. But
jukebox player now.
Jukebox, yeah, got a bit of jukebox, and so the IPA, where the recognised professional body, and where you get to where the best players go head to head, and that's what we'll be bringing you all this year on the BBC. Our 5 tour stops. So the next planned one is in May in Walsall, actually playing at Walsall Football Club.
Yeah, it should be an interesting one, that, Kev, if it goes ahead. Hopefully everything's all clear by then, or getting clearer.
Yep. Then we visit Hull, then we visit Tynemouth, and then we finish off with the Tour Grand Finals over in the Isle of Man in October.
Yeah, we went for the first time last year. It was good over there, wasn't it? They looked after us well, and it was a good venue. This finish hasn't gone completely to plan, but he's played some good shots towards the end now, and just cut this in and hopefully bounce out towards the middle of the table, and he should be good on the black.
It's looking good.
Yeah.
Doesn't want any hampered queuing.
He should be okay. Just a touch further than he would have liked, but should be fine.
So this black to get his frame on the board. In it goes, no messing about.
Yeah, he did well there. As I say, the finish was a bit trickier than it first looked, because he had to sort of go up and down the table 2 or 3 times. Couldn't just work at one end and then work his way back up. So he'll be feeling better about life now. Get that one on the board.
Yeah.
Break and dish live on the BBC.
Yeah, that's one for the family back home. But we've sort of seen a few of the new blood coming through from Wales. You know, the likes of Nathan, Corey Rees, obviously, who's establishing himself in the pro ranks. You know, they seem to have an endless supply.
They do. There's a lot of talent down there. I lost to a Welsh guy earlier on, Eddie Roberts. Played a solid match and pulled out a real good finish in the decider against me. So yeah, there's a few of them down there, and obviously Nathan's one of the younger ones, and Corey, as you say, is probably out of the younger ones, he's probably the best of the bunch at the minute, and trying to get to the level of the more established Ben Davises and Craig Marshes and Jordan Shepherds and your Simon Wards, etc., and Tom Cousins as well. So yeah, there's plenty of them.
There's far too many of them. Bit more control on the gut referee. Where's the white going? Oh,
definitely. Yeah, he was a little bit scared of what happened on the first one there, so he's took a bit off that. But still a good split though on yellows. It's a little area down the bottom right of the table to sort out, and the rest are all very open. Touch too far there. He wanted to have an angle. Let's just run into the red to leave the yellow to the left middle straight. So he's landed a little bit straight. He's going to have to stun this now.
We mentioned Corey Reese. He's in the bottom section of the draw, and he's just about to get underway against Jordan Church, who we saw running round the table at breakneck speed, a la Jordan Shepherd, to beat the current world champ John McAllister. That was some performance as well.
I didn't see that match, Kev, actually. Yeah, I knew he'd beat him, but I didn't actually see the match. So, yeah, it was a great result. And obviously John's first tournament, big tournament, I presume, after the Worlds. I don't know if he's played in any smaller events, but it's you do feel sort of on top of the world, but it's difficult to get yourself back on the practice table after that happens. So I'm not sure how much he's been enjoying life and how much he's been practicing since then. So it does tend to be a few weeks of partying when you've been there. It's a nice little time.
Yeah, and he's going to have that. It's like being the US president, isn't it? Even when you're not president, he's still got to call you Mr. President.
Yeah.
You know, winning the world title, you know, you will always be the world champion.
Yeah, it's
must be nice.
He's just made a slight mistake there, Mark. He's going to have to change his route now. He wanted a full contact on the red, just glanced off it, so he's going to have to take the longer pot and come back now.
And just talking about the Welsh contingent, I mean, we've already got Jordan Shepherd, Corey Reese and Nathan Davies. Craig Marsh is 3-2 up against Jimmy Carney, so we could have 4 Welshmen in the last 8.
Wow. And Mark's just snookered himself, so Nathan's getting himself back into this match as well. So, yeah, it's looking good for the boys from down there.
Mark Boyle, the lone Scotsman, although Liam Dunster is he's in the last 16 still. He's 4-3 up against Ian Whitehorn.
Ian's having a great tournament. He's doing really well.
Yeah, I think he beat Dan Davey in the last round.
Yeah, it went wrong 3 or 4 shots ago, that clearance for Mark. He just didn't quite get right on this bottom corner, left himself a thinner cut, and it just all sort of went against him.
Yeah, so these sort of frames now become absolutely massive.
What's gone on there? Is it that way too thin and left him a shot?
You know, 7 balls against 1, you should really never be losing the frame.
No, you shouldn't. I actually thought he'd play a little snooker in amongst the 4 balls that are in the sort of diamond shape on the right-hand side there. If he got maybe pot a ball and get the white wedged in there, the ball he just tried to move off the bottom cushion would have been fine later on anyway.
That's a good shot from Mark.
Yeah, he won't believe his luck there that he's come back to the table.
Could that be the turning point in this match, you know, in the next 20 minutes?
Yeah, like as you just said, Kev, in that situation you can't afford to be letting people back at the table with a shot on a ball. If they come out of a snooker and pot it or something like that, fair enough, but I don't know if Nathan thought he had a bit of a roll-off, maybe just the white hit a finger mark and just turned and hit his own ball too thin and brought the white more up the table than he was expecting.
I mean, he played it quite pacey.
Yeah,
it would have been hard for it to roll off at that pace.
It was a bit of a loose one.
Just hit it too thin, I think.
Yeah, he could have hit it on the other side and no chance of leaving a shot. But as I said, I thought he'd played a little snooker in amongst the 4 balls on the side.
So 3-1 to Mark Boyle against the young Nathan Davies.
He's had a busy week, Mark, hasn't he? He was one of the players on Monday night, wasn't he, in the Champions Cup? Just got through, didn't he?
He did. He had a tough draw in that as well.
Yeah.
So frame 5.
A few had a look, but no joy this time. So.
Deathly sound of silence.
Yeah. Worst sound for a pool player, that one. We've all heard it plenty of times.
And it's so that's the so frustrating thing about the game as a player, isn't it? You know, you can be in the greatest form of your life. You know, you come to the table and that happens, and you just give your opponent pretty easy opportunity. Frame after frame. It's so frustrating to take.
You just like to hope that you'll leave them something tricky to do, but on this occasion, the yellows have just come out quite easy. So, but Mark's a little bit straighter than he wanted to be on this top right ball to the top right there. So I'm not sure the one in the middle of the table goes. So he's maybe got a bit more to do than it looks here. Yeah, there's nothing worse than seeing a table after a dry break and looking and thinking, oh, just everything's virtually over the pockets, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, it can be very tough to take.
I think it's probably the only sport in the world where you get that situation. So maybe this yellow just above the line does go because he looks like he's playing on it. But yeah, you don't always have the same thing to do. Or in golf, you're all playing the same holes. Darts, you're all throwing at the same. You're all throwing at your 20s and your doubles. In this, you might come to the table, have 7 horrible clearances, and the other guy might come over and have 7 simple finishes. It's just we've all been on both sides of it, but I think it is the only game in the world that gives people either tough problems or easy finishes. It's a strange situation.
Yeah, you just got to sit and take it. You can't, if your opponent gets a birdie, you can, get a birdie back or get an eagle.
Yeah.
This, you just got to sit down and watch.
Yeah. You tend to go on runs of tournaments where things go your way, and you might win 2 or 3 tournaments on the run, and everything's going fine, and then you go to the next one, think you're playing just as well, and as you said earlier, you just don't get those same opportunities. When you do put off the break, they're messy and horrible, and when everything's going your way, you've just got to make the most of it.
Just slightly underhit that one.
You can see the side he put on it, he was trying to spin it round off the 2 cushions. And he's like you say, he's underdone it. And he's got a flying white now. Does it go long, do you think? It might go long past the red. And if so, he'll probably cue it in and just roll past the reds and have a shot on the black. If not, it's very thin and anything can happen.
And it has done. Is he going to be lucky?
Nope.
No. Is he just going to get down to a John Shepherd and smash a double in?
Maybe a treble. I'm not sure the double's on with the red. Twice across maybe to the right hand middle pocket as you look.
Yeah, these are showstoppers. These, I think it does look like the treble. No, it's the double. Yeah, and in it goes. And that was all about the pace.
Yeah, and he cued it nicely actually.
Because if it had hit those too hard, they react differently on the cushions.
Judging that it could just pass the red, it's one of those that it's quite tight past the red to play as a double, which is why we're talking about the treble. Obviously Mark knew in his head that it just about doubled and he's played it perfect.
I do like a treble. Do like a treble.
Yeah.
Whiskey, vodka, any of those.
Thirsty work, this Kev.
As it happens, I don't drink spirits, so I just want to clarify that one.
Me neither, really. See what he does with this one. He's had one flying off the table, one a bit more controlled.
That was about somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Certainly put plenty into it. I've noticed on your break, Gareth, you get your legs and your hips, and you really get everything into your break.
That's because you don't want to leave the table and think, oh, I didn't hit them very well. You want to give it a proper go. So I like to get the body into it and try and get them all moving around the table. Obviously, the more they're moving, you're more chance of getting a late one going in. Whereas if you don't hit them so well, they're not moving for as long, and you've less chance of getting that late one flying in. So there's nothing more frustrating for your opponent either when the late one drops in. That's the worst thing. They think you've gone dry and there's just one moving and it just drops in. So I even noticed Tom Cousins, who's got probably one of the biggest breaks in the world. He was hitting off the second ball down, what we call the cup break earlier on, wasn't he? So
yeah, I found that a strange tactic.
yeah.
I mean, as you say, he has probably got. If it's not the biggest, he's in the top 3. Well,
Yeah.
Biggest breaks when he's hitting the ball, the head ball front on. I mean, the power he generates. I mean, it's the ground's moving.
I know it's.
And then to sort of get away from your basics and then into cup break territory, it sort of feels like a bit reactionary. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe he just thinks he's going through a spell where he's not hitting it as well, or he's just leaving clusters, and he thinks the cup break just leaves it a bit more open, and it's a strange one. But he was actually the match I lost earlier on in the last 64. He was playing next to me, and I saw a bit of it, and he seemed to be clearing off most of his breaks. But then he's obviously played Mark on this table, and Mark beat him fairly comfortably, I think, didn't he, Kev?
I think it was to 3 or 4.
Yeah,
so I can't remember.
Maybe it dried up on him, but yeah, it's surprised to see. Played a good shot there. He's left a perfect angle on this. Screw back up the side of the table. Not a gimme finish. He's got to looking at leaving the black to the drop in the middle. Looks a tricky little angle, actually.
You'll have to cue down on this one. Makes it just a little bit more difficult.
Nicely done.
Where's he looking to play the black here then, Gareth?
I think he looks at the middle, but I think these pockets are a bit more tricky to play these little drop in the middles than the old tables we used to play on, so I think I'd probably prefer to play on this long. Definitely from there, I think he'll be taking it long.
Yeah, that looks mighty fine if he's going for the middle. Maybe if he was
dead straight
absolutely behind it, but
blind pocket. I think you've got to take this to the corner.
And these have to be hit well. If it hits the rail or the near knuckle, this will not go.
Dead centre.
Absolute perfection there.
He knew he was leaving Nathan on his worst ball as well if he missed it, and it was game over either way if he'd missed it. But cued it lovely.
Just as you say, just stroked it in.
Yeah, never in doubt that one.
And those couple of chances that Nathan had, early on in the match are sort of really now coming to hurt him.
Yeah, he knows in his mind he could possibly be 3-all, and it's 5-1 down. And at the moment, he'll just be feeling like he wants to get a couple more on the board and see where he ends up. But he won't be thinking about winning the match at the moment. He'll just be thinking about pulling off a nice couple of finishes, get a bit of confidence again and see what happens, because you can't rely on taking chances off the other person's break, because you might still be sat in your chair. So it's pretty open again. They do break open on this table.
Yeah, it's playing. But the feedback from the players, it's playing absolutely fine, like a dream.
Yeah. I think if the 2 yellows on the right-hand middle pocket or the top middle pocket as you look overhead drop in, they'll obviously be going yellows. Just the 2 little clusters on either middle pocket are the only issues, really.
So, Nathan Davies, what have you got? What's in the locker? Needs to start now. 6-1 and he's pretty much dead and buried. But 5-2, you just never know.
I actually think he should have got rid of this one down at the bottom then when he was pretty good on it. I think it's going to be harder to get back down now. He still could have had that same shot next, and this one would have been out of the way. Sides just took a bit too much there. Maybe the table playing different than some of the outer tables because the TV lighting's just thrown him a bit. It's all of a sudden it's tricky again. Maybe a really thin cut, Kev, to the bottom. Looks thin from overhead.
He's certainly going to have to pull something out. I don't think it goes in the middle. But, it's difficult to see what he's got on.
Disappointed with that.
He's got no double. He's probably got a very speculative treble, but it's not really the right. If that's the best he's got, it's not really the right shot, I don't think.
Maybe he's thinking he can just drop it very, very slow. He had to sort of aim far during. It was tight, that. Maybe he'd just missed the red by a whisker, it would have gone. Another chance has come and gone.
Yeah, and through his own fault as well, just a careless.
Yeah, as I said, I think the TV table sometimes just plays a bit more reactive, and he's just the side's taken a bit more, and he's left himself snookered on the ball he wanted to be on. But I think he should have took this ball at the bottom end when he was on it earlier on. Just would have saved him a lot less of work later on in the clearance, and just those little decisions that sometimes come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
The best of shots by Mark there. I think he thought if he dropped that in first shot, they were all on, but it was worth the risk. So maybe not left a lot. You sneak through to this one. Oh yeah.
Kiss would have been nice for him there.
Yeah, it looks like he's just short on that, I think.
Can he just see the outer edge of that yellow that's nearest the knuckle pocket on the centre?
Yeah, he could only overcut it. Yeah, it was very tight, that. Not even sure he's closed the gap enough that the red doesn't go, so...
Well, if that red goes, that's a disaster. Even if it doesn't, Boyle's got an opportunity to develop it if he needs to. Yeah, it must go.
Yeah, I think it's one of those you can sort of drop in off the jaw if you leave it to last, maybe, and just drop it in off the jaw to drop it in for the black. Or maybe just drop it in off the jaw now and take the other one to the left middle. Loads of options. It probably flies in, actually. It's hard to tell from this angle, isn't it?
He's probably just going to smash it in 100 miles an hour.
Something like that.
Just like
yeah.
Yeah, I think it went. So this is looking a little bit grim for Davies. It's going to be 6-1.
Yeah, I think from after Daddy's won his frame, Nathan, and I'm not sure if it was the following frame where Mark missed his clearance and Nathan had the 6 or 7 balls left and didn't get the snooker. Things have started to go against him even more since then. So certainly had his chances. It's not like Mark's been dishing every frame.
6-1 it is though, and it's looking a little bit grim for Nathan Davies, but if it is to be his last match, he can be proud of his performance so far this weekend, and he's still got the amateur event to come.
Yeah, and he's done tremendous to get to the quarters, and he's not really played a bad match. It's just a few shots here and there. He's looked confident. He's not looked nervy, but it's just turned against him. Yeah. Will he get another chance? That's the thing. Mark breaking at 6-1. If they come out nice, it could be game over. Hit those pretty solid again. Couple of problems this time. He's gonna have to go reds, I think. I don't think he's got a yellow to go at, so he'll be looking at reds. He's got a tricky one down this right hand side on the just near the cushion that he'll have to move if that comes out nicely. He's gonna try and do now. This is the vital shot in this frame. Nudge the red on the right of the 2 and stay on the other red to the left middle. I think if he plays this well, it's game, set and match. Not quite how he planned it. He wanted to stay on the other red to the left middle, so Still leaves him a little bit to do. Still plenty of pool going on in the outside tables. The ladies' tournaments going on there, as you see, and lots of amateur matches, and still a few last 16s and quarters in the main open as well. Pretty good shot. He's touched more side than he would have liked, so he's more of a cut on this red. But if it goes in, cuts it across this left-hand middle pocket. Send the white round off 2 cushions, and everything else is there for him then. Nicely done. Just a little issue with the red that he's closest to now. I don't think that goes to the middle, so he's got to find a different pocket. That he's just probably got to play it in the maybe in the bottom left-hand corner that he's just walked round. So that's his only real problem now from here to the winning line.
Yep, the writing looks to be well and truly on the wall. And wow, said that, and he's played the worst shot he's played in the match.
Yeah, he didn't get into that at all. He was trying to screw right back out for the red into the same pocket.
I can confirm that the next match coming up will be an absolute cracker. It is the old Welsh battle between Jordan Shepherd, who we saw earlier winning literally probably 20 minutes. He will be playing the 2017 world champion Craig Marsh. That's going to be a real treat for any fan of pool.
It's a great choice. That should be a great game. They're pretty good friends as well, I think, so they'll be played in a good spirit, and there won't be much safety going on there.
Yep, there'll be a collector's item if there's a safety shot. That'll be for certain.
Well then, Nathan, I think he was sort of getting ready to pack his stuff up there, but Mark's made that mistake, so he's got himself another chance to get one on the board.
Yep, probably was getting ready for handshakes or fist pumps. But as you say, he has got a chance.
I think he's just going to play the white over to leave himself straight on the one just above the left middle there. Just try and cue it down the cushion.
Just wants to be straight on this. Needs that to slow down.
I think he's all right there. It's probably, as I say, just a touch hard, isn't it?
Just
he played it well, actually. It was nicely played. It was always looked in, and then it just had a little wobble, but it always looked in.
no mistake with the last yellow. So this black to double his frame tally.
Yeah, it's good to see, because 7-1 would have been a bit of a harsh result, really. So he's got another one on the board there and took him well. It's hard to see that Mark will not win from here, but you just never know at this game.
That's right, you just never know till the fat lady is singing. She's tuning up as we speak. But
she was definitely tuning up there in that last frame, but unexpected mistake, positional mistake from Mark.
yeah, so Craig Marsh coming through very much under the radar with 7-2, 7-3, 7-2 victories. So
that's pretty solid going, isn't it? Yeah, maybe he's. I think I spoke to Craig at the Worlds and started wearing contact lenses, I think, or something, and he was feeling good about his game, but didn't go that well for him at the Worlds. He obviously got to the semis, so he was queuing well, but just missed out in the semis. But yeah, he's back on his game by the looks of it.
yeah, it certainly is. He was looking pretty impressive at the Worlds. Just didn't quite get over the line when he thought he would. But that's not what Nathan Davies wants to see. He's got a ball, but nothing very appealing there.
He's got a real thin snick on the red to the left middle. But the two reds at the bottom end look tricky as well, so I think he has to go reds. Let's try and snick that one in and see where he lands.
No case for yellow. Yellow into the centre pocket and then that cluster.
Try and open them up by cutting the other one in. Yeah, it's an option, Kev. The red that he's going to kiss into could do some damage at this end and make his life easier. It's not a bad result. He's knocked a yellow. I wonder if... these reds might both go. It's obviously one of them goes. If the other one goes, the finish is there. He's just looked at it. It looks quite tight.
Yeah, on the overhead, that bottom of the two reds doesn't look like it goes past that yellow into the bottom corner, but I think the way he's played it.
Yeah. Maybe it just sneaks in. This is what tends to happen if you miss a chance to get over the line in a match. The other guy takes that one out and then he breaks and clears, and suddenly you're thinking, oh, should have been back in my room having a little rest before the next round, and suddenly it's 6-3, 6-4, 6-5. You just never know.
Big shot coming up now from Davies.
Yeah, just played it in nicely off the near jaw.
Didn't try to do too much with it. He could have, hit it a little bit harder and got better position, but just sort of took his medicine a little bit.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he knew it was quite tight. He didn't want to risk anything. Just drag this for left hand side now. Maybe try and land by the line. Played it well. Oh, let's just run on slightly. Same again, I think, Kev. Just take your medicine and just drop it in. And come out between the black and yellow.
Oh, played that well. Just a little touch of side on, just to help it on its way. And yeah, impressive stuff there from Nathan Davies.
That's his second clearance from the break in the match, so he's be pleased with that.
6-3, 2 frames on the spin. Can he make it 3? Because 6-4, it does start to get the doubts start to come, don't they?
Yeah, we've all been there, haven't we? We've all been there. This game, you just never know.
So he does need some help off the Boyle break, that's for certain. He's going to need a little bit of luck, but we see it happen. And there's the last 16 scores at the top of the shop there. Liam Dunster, the #1 ranked pro, in a real tussle.
It is, isn't he?
With Ian Whitehorn. They've been at it for a couple of hours, I think. And you can see all the other results there that we've talked you through and you've seen. As we get to the business end of the tournament. Boyle's broken. There's a ball down.
It's a lovely split. Hit that a bit harder. He went back to his... Because of the first one where he took the white off the table, I think he's been a bit scared to hit it quite so hard since, but he certainly gave that a bit extra.
So it looks like he's going to... What do you think, yellows here, Gareth?
I think so, Kev. Yeah. Just be nice if he was on the one. Just past the red to the top right first. I think if he's on that, and the other one goes across, or maybe play the plant across.
Just to bring you up to date with the other quarter-final that's currently on, Jordan Church is 3-0 up on Corey Rees.
Good start for Jordan.
He's a fine player to watch when he,
Yeah, he's got played for England with Jordan for a number of years, and he's a good man to be in a team with, because his frames aren't going to take long if you're reffing them.
No good if you just ordered a sandwich, though.
Well, that's true. Nicely done. He knew he was probably just going to have to nudge that in off his other yellow. It's a little bit tight, but he's done it well.
Well, Corey not messing about either. It's 3-1 now.
Putting a bit of thought into this clearance mark, 'cause he knows could be his chance to get over the line.
Yeah, because they're definitely not gimmies. There's definitely work to do with these.
So this bottom end needs a bit of work, and the one nearest to the black's got to be got on as well. So. all about the angle he leaves, really, on the bottom one of these 2 yellows now to get on the other one to the opposite corner. Like you say, Kev, there's a little bit to do here. Gonna like that slightly straighter. He can force it round with side off the 2 cushions. Top and left hand side, just to spin it round off 2 cushions, try and get fairly straight on his other yellow to the other corner. Might be short this, I think.
Just got that little extra ping off the second cushion.
Yeah,
there.
just gave him a bit of chance. He's still a bit thinner than he'd like to be. A few options here. Play into the black, just screw it off, on and off the bottom cushion.
Where is it? The white ball low.
Played
down.
into the yellow. It's a great shot.
And this could be the last few seconds of this match. But don't go away, because the next match coming up will be an absolute classic. Battle of the Welshmen, John Shepherd, Craig Marsh, coming up after this. And there we go, Mark Boyle, convincing winner against Nathan Davies. But you know, he's done well. He can be proud of getting to the quarterfinals. Great performance from him. We'll be seeing a lot more of him.
Definitely, yeah. He's had a great tournament. He's done really well to get to the quarters, and just a bit unlucky on a couple of his early clearances. Could have been a bit closer earlier on, but good to see some new players get into these later stages. Just having a post-mortem about the game now. I think not sure on 1 or 2 shots, but probably Nathan's biggest disappointment there will be not getting the snooker when Mark missed his clearance at 3 or 4-1. But great tournament to get to the quarters. Kev's just going to have a little word with Mark Boyle now.
Mark, we're here again. Another victory, another great performance. You must be pleased with the way the day's going so far. Can you hear me? It's on. Gaz, I'm green.
Gaz is staying.
He probably will do, yeah. Yeah, we're in. So shall we do take 2? Do you think on that one? Yeah, now that the microphone's working. So Mark, great performance. You must be pleased with the way it's going.
I should know the answer to this question, shouldn't I? Can't complain. I've not been feeling good, but it makes me try harder. So maybe you've got to switch on. So that's making me obviously focus a wee bit better, which helps, you know. So no, I can't complain.
And a word about your opponent, Nathan Davies, one of the young Welsh brigade who are coming through the ranks, and a great performance for him to get to the quarterfinals of a major.
Yeah, I think it helped me playing Nathan on this table, because he's not played on this table yet.
Yeah.
Plus under the 30-second shot clock. That's what he said after the match. He said it caught him out, because you think 30 seconds is a long time, but it's not. before you know it, you're down to 10 seconds. So that helped me. But Nathan, you can see Nathan, he doesn't really miss much. He just lost the white a couple of times, but that's due to just the table. But I have been noticing his past results. He has been playing really well, so he's definitely one to look out for.
Yeah, certainly one of many to look out for. And we were just talking in commentary about how stacked the quarterfinals is with Welsh players. You know, where do they all come from? You know, well, I know they all come from Wales, but you know, they must have some sort of production line of players there. I mean, you know, Sheppy, Marshy, you know, Nathan, Corey Rees. I mean, phenomenal talent.
They've always been a strong team, even when you go to the home nations or even the World Championships. Wales is always one of the favourites. You know, they've always been since I've been playing pool, and they're only going to get better because there's more pool halls opening up in Wales as well. So it'll just get stronger and stronger.
So into the semis of another major tournament, you must be really getting excited now.
Yeah, like, you can't beat playing on tables like this in front of the cameras. You know, it adds a wee bit more prestige to the event. You know, and you just want to play well and prove to people that you can play the game.
And it'd be a great way to kick off the IPA season with victory in this event.
Yeah. Dream start basically if you win this event, and then it should kick you on for the rest of the season. You know, so we'll just take one match at a time.
Okay, and just a word about the match coming up. Jordan Shepherd against Craig Marsh. So that's going to be some match.
It'll be fireworks basically. It's two cracking players. Just fireworks. It's just crazy how they just run round the table, especially Sheppy. But to be honest, Marsh is just as quick, you know, at times. But it'll just be gung ho. They just go for the finish right off the break all the time. There'll not be much fudging in this frame. This match.
Yeah. Will you watch any of it, or do you like to get yourself away now for an hour or so?
Well, I'm not staying in this hotel. I'm in another hotel, so I like to we'll just sit, chill, watch it, get a couple of drinks and a wee bite to eat.
Yeah.
And just you can't not watch this game. These are the games you want to watch. Yeah. Because it's so quick and attacking. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot for your time, Mark.
No problem.
Well played. Good luck in the semi-finals.
Cheers,
thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Okay, Mark Boyle takes his place in the semi-final. So without further ado, let's get over to the com box, and Dan Fairway is there with Gaz Hibbert with the introductions to the next match coming up, which should be an absolute cracker.
Thank you very much, Kev. Unfortunately, though, I am not with Gaz Hibbert, as Gaz has had to run out. So, just while we wait for the start of the next match, we'll take a quick look at the state of play in the tournament at the moment. Craig Marsh there on the right of your screen is ready for this quarter-final match, and he will be playing his fellow compatriot Jordan Shepherd. Now this is a real battle to look forward to. These two are just so attacking and brilliant to watch. Craig there having a good laugh with our table technician. It really has been a brilliant day's pool so far. We are still waiting for the last of the quarterfinals, as Ian Whitehorn is locked in a battle with the number one, Liam Dunster. It's going on just outside the commentary box. Unfortunately, I can't quite see it. But I know that match was certainly going the distance. The players then are ready. Jordan Shepherd on the left, Craig Marsh on the right. Not quite sure how to shake hands there, the players. It will be Craig Marsh to get us underway, though. Here we go then, the open quarter-final between Jordan Shepherd and Craig Marsh. This all-Welsh battle between the two titans of the sport. Craig, of course, the 2017 world champion, as Jordan is a multiple title winner on the IPA Tour. You can see there the UK Open trophy in the background. That's what these two are playing for. Hoping to make it through to the semi-finals. They'll be just 2 steps away from the title. And Craig with his big break ready to get us underway. Well, he couldn't have hit them much better, but he hasn't made a ball. So it will be Jordan Shepherd with the first opportunity of the match. Got an obvious problem down towards the bottom right corner pocket. The black, yellow and red all a little bit tied up. But he could get through to that yellow, so being on yellows makes that easier. With a very precise positional shot, he could probably land on that difficult yellow next to the black. And if not, he could certainly try and disturb it. That's what he's tried to do now, but he's made things a little bit worse. In fact, quite a lot worse. Jordan may look at a safety shot here. I think he thought about it, but he went for the double instead. So Craig will get an opportunity in this frame, although it's not an easy one. There's no easy starter for Reds here. And he's also got that same problem Red and the black to develop. Great opening shot from Craig. Really confident 3-ball plant. Opens all the Reds up in that top end of the table. He could possibly take the red that's closest to the top right corner now and screw down the table into that problem area. He'd be unlucky not to land on anything if he did that. Decided to try and give himself an angle on the one in the centre. A little bit of a grimace tells the story there. I think he'd have liked a fraction more angle. Might have to pump this quite hard now. And he did. And it was superbly cued by Craig Marsh. Opens up that area. And leaves him in prime position to clear up and take this opening frame. Comfortably done then. And despite his dry break, Craig Marsh takes the opening frame in this quarter-final. Will Jordan Shepherd rue that chance? The breakout he tried didn't work, but he could have played safe off that. Instead, took on a risky double, and Craig took out an excellent finish to punish the mistake. Decent crowd watching this match. There's still quite a lot of pool happening in the outer arena. Should point out we don't just have the Open tournament. We actually have 4 tournaments here this weekend. We have the Open, the Professional, which will continue tomorrow, having gone through the first round yesterday. And we also have the ladies and amateur events. But today we are with the Open for the remainder of the day. As Craig Marsh studies the table, I am delighted to be joined in the commentary box by our very own Dan Davies. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening. Evening, afternoon, where are we at?
I don't know, we're somewhere in the middle, aren't we?
We're somewhere in the middle, yeah.
You lose track of time down here in the basement.
Sheevening.
Evening.
Shafternoon. Right.
Quarter to six. That's borderline.
Oh, we're in no man's land.
We are.
Talking of no man's land, Craig Marsh has just sort of run out of position, going into his bad ball early, like all these top players do, but he's a decent safety. I mean, the yellow in that top left-hand side, top left-hand corner of the table, would have gone off the reds until Craig's just played that shot. It's a really clever shot for Craig. Not often give much credit for his sort of sensible game, his clever shot selection stuff, because he's so attacking. You don't often see it.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably say that about a lot of players, but yeah, you are right. Craig is so attacking generally that actually, because he doesn't play those shots that often, he's not known for it. But all of these players have a B game.
They do.
Saying that, we are watching Sheppy, and I'm not sure I've ever seen him play a turn down a finish sort of thing.
Oh, he'll be going for these. I think he's going to play yellow bottom right corner, and then take the yellow nearest to left middle. Cushion first, off the red to try and break the pocket, break out that pocket at the top left-hand corner of the table. I mean, he's still probably then going to have to play yellow off a red, but knowing Sheppy the way he is, he's certainly not going to be. He'll be attacking from here. Little bit surprised there. I thought he was just going to top it through and play the yellow that he's right next to, off of, top left-hand corner pocket, side cushion first, and open the pocket up, and could have then played the yellow off the other. Oh, he's got in there. Look at that. What do I know? He's brilliant, isn't he?
That's just silly.
He's brilliant.
That is a magnificent shot.
I mean, he trusted to luck, but so what? I mean, you're going to be anyway. Why overthink things? Just whack. That's brilliant.
At least 50% of this game is luck.
Yeah. Oh, he's just.
But that was yeah.
Hats off. Not such an easy shot either. I mean, I know the yellow was close to that top right corner pocket, but yeah, play have a lot of run inside, and that's only just gone in. Don't get complacent now. All the hard work's done.
I should point out to you and probably the viewers at home that the scoreline is currently incorrect because Craig won the first frame.
Ah, okay. So this is for one each, is it?
This is for one each, yeah.
Okay.
I think there's we have a technical problem with the internet in this venue.
Right, I see.
Which is
I've noticed that because a lot of the tablets, those of you that don't know when you're here, we have tablets at each table, so it's not the old-fashioned score sheet. You literally, when you win a frame, tap on the tablet and it updates Q score, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone can follow it online and stuff like that. And I know a lot of them have been playing up, because the internet connection's quite bad in here. But
yeah, we are underground, I believe, actually at the moment.
We are, yeah.
In a basement sort of situation, and we are struggling with connectivity. So if you notice little problems like that, we do apologise.
It's a hell of a basement.
It is, yeah. Either way, it will be Craig Marsh to break in this third frame.
Yeah, one apiece. dead straight queuing. I like it when he's got a good break on him, Craig.
He has, but his first one went dry, and so has this, and I can't believe either of them did, to be honest.
No, I mean, there's going dry when you deserve to go dry, and then there's that. I mean, he did not deserve that. He's hit them really well.
Definitely a couple of problems here, though, for Jordan. The 2 yellows at the top end of the table I'm looking at. I think ideally he would have liked to have played one of those as a plant to start off with, because he could have played red onto yellow and at least opened one of them up. But he couldn't see either of them, so...
Might be looking at a 4-ball plant here. Yellow onto red onto red onto yellow.
Do you want to say that again? It's a tongue twister.
No, I got it right the first time, and that's the only chance I got. No, Sheppy does his own thing.
That's brilliant.
That's brilliant. I mean, let's just let him play, shall we? Let's not try and predict what he's going to do. He's box office, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, if... This was something that I tried to do earlier, actually, in a previous match. Because there isn't a lot of live sport going on this weekend, as we know. I was trying to sort of, assuming we've got a few new viewers who may not have watched much pool before, trying to compare each player to sort of a snooker player who might be a little bit more well-known.
Yeah, okay.
Who would you... I mean, I guess you'd be looking at a sort of Ronnie or a Trump for...
More of a Trump than a
Sheppy.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
More of a Trump, yeah. Yeah, I think Ronnie's just the all-round Rolls-Royce kind of thing, whereas Trump, although he is the best player in the world at the moment, Trump is still, even though he's the, best player in the world and current world champion, he's still got that little bit of unpredictability about him and still takes things on that other people wouldn't. But just
got the wow
consistently
factor.
he's just got that sort of, you want to watch him, yeah. And Jordan's got that, the sublime to the sometimes silly shots now and again, but, say, flawed genius, you could say, I don't know. But it's sort of,
Yeah, I think that's absolutely perfectly fair.
You've seen Jordan before beat the very best in the world 7-1 in 25 minutes. But I have also seen him lose to people you would never imagine he could lose to.
No.
He's although he has got more consistent the last, 2-3 seasons especially. But big shot this. Let's roll this beautiful heart of the pocket.
Right.
Heart of the pocket. 2-1 Jordan Shepherd.
Yeah, that is wonderful stuff from Jordan. Didn't manage to punish Craig Marsh's dry break in the first frame, but has managed to in the third. Let's see if we can have a quick look at the last 16 in the Open and how that unfolded, or is still unfolding. I know that there was one match still to go, and it was Ian Whitehorn versus Liam Dunster. It was just outside the door here, and last I saw it was 5-4 to Ian. So I don't know if that's still going on. No, it isn't, and it is Ian Whitehorn who has come through.
Wow. That's a hell of a result for Ian. You can't see this, but Dan's just giving it a big fist pump because he's really good friends with Ian. Ian actually beat me 7-5 in the last 32, and it was a weird match, really. I didn't, he's such a steady player. And I hate saying steady because it sounds like you're doing someone a disservice. But steady is exactly what you need to be in pool.
But he is. He's just rock solid.
Yeah, just goes around, plods around, picks them off.
And
he's a good player. He's a really good player, and I missed a couple of chances that I shouldn't have done, but I didn't play badly. He's a real good player, really good player. Pleased to see him beat Liam as well. Just nice to see new faces in the quarters, and we all know how good Liam is, what a great guy he is, what a great all-round player he is. But it is good to see new faces.
Talking of solid players, he's got Lee Clough in the quarters. So from Dunster to Clough is very much out of the frying pan and into the fire. They are two very similar style of players.
Yeah, so another solid player. You could call it a solid quarter-final.
You certainly could. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the polar opposite to this one, really.
Yeah, I mean, two very unsolid players. Just pure flamboyance. Controlled flamboyance. I'd like to add that element because they are absolute class. They're not just, lashers, as you might call them. They are absolute top. I mean, both of these top 8 in the world?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, won multiple things on the IPA, not just one. Obviously, Craig two-time world finalist, has won the World Championships as well. Jordan hasn't, but he has won at least 5 IPA events. He's a consistent winner. 3-1 Jordan Shepherd in the blink of an eye.
And a consistent winner is something that is very, very difficult to be on the IPA Tour. It's rare that you see someone win 2 events in a season. I think 3 events in a season has happened twice only. I think it was Clint Jansen and possibly John McAllister.
I think Liam Dunster, wasn't it? Didn't he win?
Oh, Liam Dunster. That's right. Liam Dunster was, I believe, the 3rd person to do it last season.
Yeah, I think he won an event, 3 events in a row, actually, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It was quite remarkable. But I don't think anyone's ever done 4.
Ian Whitehorn, talk about him earlier. We might see him later on the TV table as we see Craig Marsh break off. 3-1 Jordan Shepherd. We'll have to just pointing out a few viewers at home. Yeah, he was breaking side on, and I didn't see many people do that these days. But he was breaking into the second ball down, so not hitting the front ball. He's breaking into the second ball down. Just a firm sort of punch, and he was making a ball in this bottom left corner pocket from the middle of the pack almost every time.
Ian's a proper student of the game. He's spoken to me before about how he spends hours working out what break to use.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't say it won in the match, but well, no, it probably did on that occasion.
Yeah.
I mean, he got first opportunity. Blimey, I think I was dry off 4 of my break. A bit like how Craig Marsh must feel. He's hitting them well, getting good spreads.
I mean, did you see that break?
Yeah, and he's not making a ball.
It was crazy.
I felt like that earlier. I thought I'm not going to change anything here because I'm hitting them well. You know, I'm getting a good split. You can hear that sort of crunch. You can hear that split, but I'm not getting a ball. And I stuck with it, and I ended up making a ball a bit later on in the match. But I think the first 4 I didn't, and I think his first 4 or 5 he did. And it really was the difference, you know. Often is in the game. It's not nothing new. But like you say, if it's something he's studied, he clearly has. This isn't me sort of saying, you know, I'm not cursing luck here. He was making that same ball in that corner pocket every time. So
yeah,
there's nothing to do with luck. That's something premeditated. You know, like you say, he's studied that. And if you can get a head start on the rest of the people in the tournament on the break, then you're halfway to the tournament. You're halfway to the title.
The thing is, you can't win a tournament if you're breaking badly.
You just can't.
If you're breaking well, you can still lose. But if you're not breaking well, you can't win. You might win the odd match not breaking well, but you won't win 2, 3 or 4. You won't run deep in a tournament.
Like tennis, and you don't win Wimbledon unless you're serving well. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, precisely.
This from Jordan Shepherd is flawless. This is what's this 4-1 now? And has Craig Marsh had a go at the table since what was it? 1 each.
The first, yeah.
He played a good safety. A good safety.
I mean, Craig won the first frame.
And and I think that second frame he played a good safety. Jordan's cleared up from nowhere. Just typical, you know, just classic Jordan Shepherd, vintage Jordan Shepherd.
Yep.
Looked like he had nothing to do and ends up clearing the table. Before you know it, 10 minutes later, 4-1.
And he's making it look really easy as well. I was about to say, like, yeah, but Craig's left him easy splits, and there's an extent to which that's true. But Jordan took out a really nice plant in that one, a really nice long half ball red. Like, if we had more time to study between Jordan Shepherd's shots, we'd probably go, oh, this could be tricky. But he's so quick that you don't have time to do that.
You don't, no. But a dry one from Jordan himself.
It's not quite as nice.
Look at his face. He's laughing. They're both laughing, and that's because, as you can see, that it's been 10-15 minutes since Craig Marsh has even had a go. Effectively, he's come to the table, and what a mess.
Yeah, that is not pleasant.
I mean, they're good friends off the table, really good friends. They lived together for a short period of time.
Did they?
A few years ago, yeah. Yep. Lived together back in Wales when I think Jordan's resides up in, both Welsh obviously, but Jordan resides up in Doncaster now. But when Jordan was in Wales, they did live together for quite a period of time. They're really close friends.
The greatest inter-flat doubles team of all time.
Yeah.
Come out with my mates tonight. We'll play some pool.
Yeah, imagine. Well, the key to this frame is this shot. It's not great. It's okay, is it? I don't know.
I think he might have to come off the top cushion to try and pot the yellow along the rail.
Yeah, I don't think he can get
And if he does
clean
that,
through to it.
no, I don't. If he does that, even then it's like, does he land on a ball? It's borderline whether he does or not.
I think this is where you've got to... That's a great shot. Oh, this is where you've got to just say, look, I'm in a good position here, though. You know, I know it's Jordan Shepherd. He's probably the last player on the planet you'd want to leave a stab at a difficult finish, because you just fear he's going to find something.
I mean, if he clears that from here, it's just crazy. He's not good, or is he? Oh, wow.
Well, he's got a plant top right corner, and he will get that plant as well. That he shouldn't clear these up, but he's 4-1 up. He looks in great form.
Terrifying form, I think.
Terrifying, yeah. Torturous form, and you just. If I'm Craig Marsh, I'm just thinking he's going to find a way.
It's just those two reds on the right-hand side of the table, just underneath him now. I don't think either of those goes. He's got to move them. He's giving himself a chance here, I think.
And I think he has, yeah. He'll be playing the red into the left-hand side of the pocket, don't get me wrong, but he's got an angle here. Perfect. Has he got a bit of luck? He's got... Oh, look, you deserve it if you get these. He hasn't gone crashing into things.
No.
This is calculated. You know, the calculated risks he's taking here. He's not just going, oh, I'm up against it here, I'm just going to hit him and see what happens. This is great stuff.
Still got one little problem, and that is the black. He doesn't have a massive window to get into the black.
I'll be honest, these are horrible queuing across the table as well. These tightly cut middle pockets. Great shot, great shot.
It's a lovely angle as well. It's a punch.
Yeah, nice to see the Blues brothers in the background there. No, he hasn't.
Not behind the yellow.
He has. And that is wedged. Total snooker.
Can he hit this? Can he get this off there?
Looks like it, but he's even tapped the middle pocket, the opposite middle pocket, and said that's what he's going for. Yeah, it's not there. Oh, maybe he meant the white ball.
Should we give him the benefit? He's been playing quite well.
Yeah. If he says he meant it, he meant it.
Lifeline then for Craig Marsh, and it's one that he desperately needs. That would have been 5-1 in a race to 7. That would have been massive, and not only that, I mean, where those balls were when Jordan came to the table.
Do you know what? It reminded me of my match against Ian Whitehorn. I don't really want to talk about it, but at 5-all, I'm going to talk about it. Of course I am. But at 5-all, I've pulled a really, really good clearance out, and there were 3 or 4 really difficult shots I've done. I've done exactly what Jordan did, basically. Did all the hard work, and then left myself a tough black, which I was happy to, because it was tough to even get on it. Missed the black, and you know, Jordan's done most of the hard work there. Left himself a tricky positional shot to get on the black, but really made a mess of it. And 5-1 to 4-2 is that's huge in a race to 7.
It certainly is. I don't know. Let's see if we can have a look at the quarterfinals and see how they're shaping up. There we go. Well, Lee Clough will be playing Ian Whitehorn. That match doesn't appear to have started yet, but like I said, with the internet connectivity issues, Mark Boyle definitely beat Nathan Davies, so we just saw that. So, if we're being honest, none of those scores are remotely accurate.
No.
So, sorry,
it is what it is, I'm afraid. You know, there's all sorts going on in the world at the minute, and yeah, the internet connection's bad down here. So, you know, thankfully, you can't really call it a stream, can you? But the equipment that we use here is incredible. So the graphics and TV coverage won't be interrupted. But yeah,
we just can't get you any scores.
Can't get you many scores though. But yeah, Ian Whitehorn to play Lee Clough could well be next on here actually. To as the next quarter-final, because obviously, thinking about the way we have to schedule it and all, I think it'd probably have to be next, wouldn't it?
That would depend, because Mark Boyle is obviously through to the semi-finals, and Jordan Church was 3-0 up on Corey Rees a good 45 minutes ago.
Oh, I see.
So we may be taking the second semi-final first, which would be Church or Rees versus Boyle.
Yeah.
What a lineup!
What a lineup, yeah. Now, tough finish here for Craig. He's left himself an angle, so he's got the perfect angle to cut this red right middle. I think we'll see him go left-hand cushion and then into exactly as he's pointing out there. You can see what he needs to do. You can see what he wants to do, but this is the way these pan out. If these come out good, it's frame over. But I think you're trusting a little bit to luck here. No, he's played it. He's played it quite well.
That's absolutely horrific.
I mean, you couldn't have placed it any worse with your hand.
No, I mean, and he's played it beautifully. I mean, the cueing and the side he got on it, and everything was he's hit that as well as possible.
Yeah, is it good to go into that run inside is good because you're likely to get the white out afterwards. But the way he's got it is just it's a bit harsh.
Well, he needs to get a hit here, because if he doesn't, oh my word!
Oh, talking of harsh. Oh my God.
Well, I was going to say, if he doesn't, then he opens up the table to Jordan, because it gives Jordan a free shot before he starts his visit to do what he likes with. That is one of the rules in black ball rules. We don't have 2 shots. We don't have 2 shots carry.
I think the referees call it 1 free shot, 1 visit, don't they?
That is correct. Yeah, it is. It's 1 free shot, 1 visit. It's 1 shot to basically do what you like with, open up the table as Jordan has there.
Yeah.
And then you get on with it.
Oh, has he got enough reverse side on that? Just about, but he's still underhit it.
I mean, he did want a nice angle here to go up the table, but he didn't need it quite that thin.
Yeah, that's worked out really well. Well, if he can play the lowest of the 2 reds, yellows, sorry, it'll open up. But
yeah, I'm not convinced he can.
I'm not sure he can.
I think he can play the one he's closest to into the centre. That's fine. Or he can go the other way.
Yeah, no, he wants to be a little bit straight on that. He might have to stun across table, but no, he's cheeked the pocket. You see there, there's a really good example though. He played that into the left-hand side of the pocket. You can fit roughly sort of 1.5 balls in the pockets, can't you? So he's played it in there.
That was a trickier shot than it looked as well. The last one, where he really dug into the cue ball to screw it back out past the yellow he was closest to. If he'd caught that yellow on the way back, he might have landed on nothing. Great shot from Jordan.
Makes it look so easy, doesn't it? And that's 5-2 now. 5-2 Jordan Shepherd.
Yeah, and it's Craig Marsh probably getting a little bit worried sat in his seat. I mean, to be fair, he's done nothing wrong the whole match. Crazy.
Not that I've seen. He's played a good safety in the second frame. Jordan cleared from nowhere. He's broken dry a couple of times, which Jordan's said thank you very much for. And in that last frame, he had a tough table. Got into his bad ball as early as he could and trusted a little bit to luck. Came out horrible. 5-2 down. Nothing down. Nothing down. Is the white down? No. Back you come, Craig.
Yeah, back you come, but
again,
it's another awful looking table.
Just one of them. He'll be sat there now cursing. Think he's talking to Jordan. You can see him chatting to Jordan there. Jordan's laughing.
I don't think
it'll be something along the lines of another easy finish. You've left me now. Jordan will know. The first to admit he's kind of got the better of the run on the balls in this match. That's a good shot though. It's a really good shot. Tap of the leg from Jordan.
Yeah, it is, because that red was almost on the cushion, so he sort of had to pinch a pocket that wasn't there for that. Now, I think he's going to have to play the next 2 as a plant, because I don't believe that the red closest to the cue ball passes the other red to the top right.
Yeah, just the only thing, you can't do much with a white. I think all he can do is top it through maybe. He plays his plant. what's he done? I don't understand.
No, I think he was. I think he's overhit it, to be honest. I think he was hoping that the red that he was playing into would
Stay over the middle.
for the
I
right.
thought he was going to top it through and then play the red bottom left. I thought that was his only option because of the angle he had. But I think in hindsight he probably would have done that. But he's in all sorts of trouble now.
Well, the only red he can see now is the one that he doesn't want to move.
No, because once he does that, all the yellows are fairly easy.
But he is going to hit it.
He's going to play a billiard. Oh, it's a good effort. It's a good effort.
Very good effort.
It's a good effort. Some people wouldn't have even seen that shot.
No, I'm one of them. To be perfectly fair, I think I would go so far as to say that most people wouldn't have seen that shot.
No.
Either way, what an opportunity for Sheppy.
Yeah, I think the two yellows next to the black are sort of in each other's way a little bit. And the yellow lowest on the table, I think that does just squeeze past the red into the bottom left corner pocket.
Yeah,
So
there's definitely room for a ball there.
Yeah, I don't think he has to break into anything here, but yeah, just doesn't want to be hand-procuring. He's a little bit hand-procuring. I think you can just, you can see there's enough space there. Played it well, played it really well. That's just here. Is he gonna just stop the white where it is and then stun into the other yellow with his last shot? I think if you try and go around the back of it, I think he's going to have to stun into it. If you try and go around the back of it, you might graze it on the way through. Yeah, he's going to stun into it. Nicely controlled. Made that look really easy. And it's just like he makes the game look easy, doesn't he?